Hello, Whole Life Challenge players. Welcome to week 3 of my 6-week exploration of yoga. This week, we slow things down and explore yoga as a way to nourish our physical and emotional state. If intense styles of yoga aren't your thing, this week's practice might be the ideal fit for you. Yin is a slow-paced style of yoga in which poses are held for long periods of time, from 45 seconds to 5 minutes or more. The focus shifts away from stretching and strengthening our muscles to working with the interconnective tissue, the ligaments, and even the joints of the body. These are usually neglected in more active styles of exercise. If you already have an intense cardio routine and are looking for increased flexibility and cross-training, or want to slow down due to stress or injury, Yin Yoga may be the best fit for you. Let's get started. Come to an all-fours position. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Take a deep breath here, just centering yourself and your body. Inhaling for 3. Exhaling for 3. Inhaling 3, filling belly, ribs, chest. And exhaling 3. And you're gently going to step or carry that right foot forward. So it's right where your right hand used to be, coming into a lunge. I really like to make sure my back knee is padded, so you can put a blanket under the back knee, or you can fold over your mat for a little extra support. Take the hands up on the thigh. Option 1 is you'll hold and stay here. Option 2, if you have blocks, is that you can take them on the highest height and allow your hands to pressure into the blocks as you let the hips sink down. So this is the yin pose called dragon. You should be feeling a stretch in the front left psoas. This can be a very intense stretch, especially since we're going to be here for quite a long time. So our yin practice really becomes about finding refuge in the breath, that 3-count inhale and exhale that we just worked with. So instead of running or moving from sensation, we're able to just be present to whatever sensation's coming up, witness it, and not react. So just surrender to gravity here. Allow the hips to sink down. For this first minute or so, just play with where you want to be. Just make whatever adjustments you need to make in order to find your edge, that point where you're feeling a stretch, you're feeling sensation, but you can still breathe into it. And over the course of the next few breaths, try to come into complete stillness. Close the eyes and quiet down. Yin is a mental practice, in many ways more than a physical one. So notice if you want to get out of it, or you're bored, or your thoughts wander, just redirect your attention to the breath. You'll hear my voice again in a few moments. Slowly deepen the breath. With a lot of care and attention, lift the hips up. Take the right foot back to meet the left. Just sink into a child's pose. And just notice the difference between the right and left side of the body. Gently come back up to all fours. Step or carry the left foot through into dragon. And this is the hardest yin pose we'll do. It's a lot of sensation. Allow the hips to melt. Looking for a stretch on the right psoas, so the right front of the thigh. And then using blocks or furniture in your house or hands on the thigh to stay here. See if you can recognize if you're the type of person who really loves movement or loves the vinyasa class that we did before. Oftentimes, those of us who really love movement or love the more aggressive or active styles of practice find this work really challenging. It's actually our work to figure out how to slow down and be with sensation. It's much harder to just be faced with sensation instead of constantly moving from pose to pose. You kind of get to distract yourself and run away. It's common for emotional releases or emotional memories to come up during this practice. Just release any expectation. Let gravity be your friend. Continue to fidget and kind of find the right position. And over the next 10 or 20 seconds, really find a place where you can commit to stillness. A place where you feel the stretch, but can still comfortably breathe. So we don't want to go to our deepest point in these poses since we're here quite a long time. And you'll hear my voice again in a little while. Last 5 deep breaths here. Really expand and lengthen your breath. Good, and then with a lot of gentleness, being really careful, step the left foot back, come into that child's pose once again. And just noticing the effects of the posture after the second side. Gently come back up to all fours. Spin the right fingers out and then back. So your fingertips are facing your knee and your wrist crease is facing the top of the mat. And from here, it's like a lever. You sort of can control the intensity of this stretch. You can begin to lean your body back and feel a really delicious stretch on the forearm. Really great if you're a texter or a typer. And to lessen the intensity, you just take your hips forward. To increase the intensity, you shift your hips back towards your heels. And just breathe here. Again, there's nowhere to go to get out of the sensation, so we're just breathing and moving through sensation. Students often ask if they should be warmed up to do a yin practice, if they should do vinyasa first or do something to get the muscles warm, and the answer is no. We want to come to our yin practice cold, just like this, because we want to work with the interconnective tissue, the fascia of the body. While if we heat up and get all warm, the muscles kind of take over and we end up stretching the muscles instead of the interconnective tissue. Last 2 breaths here. Good, and now curl your toes underneath you. So curl the toes under, and you're just gonna peel like your hand was glued to the mat. Peel through the hand, so just the wrist leaves the mat, and then each finger slowly, slowly press back to sitting on your heels. Little toe stretch. You can lean back and take the pinky toe forward. A lot of the times the poor pinky toe gets stuck, so take the pinky toe forward. And then just shake out the wrists. Notice the difference between the right and left wrist, no judgment, just observing. Good, and then come back to all fours. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. This time taking the left fingers, spinning them out, and then back. Left fingers face the left knee. Wrist crease faces the top of the mat. Just breathe here. Finding that lever of intensity, so moving the hips back in space towards the heels if you want a more intense stretch. Taking the weight a little forward if the stretch is too much. Begin to curl the toes under now. Move the seat back, peeling through the hand very slowly. Taking the left hand back, good. And then once again, sitting on the heels for our toe stretch, flipping that pinky toe forward if needed. And if this toe stretch is really intense, same idea, right? You can take your hands forward to make it less intense. You can really shift your seat onto the heels and press down to make it more intense. Just find some place to be. 3 deep breaths. present? Can you be calm, even if there is discomfort? Good, and then return to all fours. We'll just do some shoulder rolls. So just roll the shoulders back in this all fours position, so shoulders come up towards the ears, down and forward. If it helps to micro bend the elbows, you can do that. Just rolling the shoulders and then reversing direction, whatever direction you went. Just taking the shoulders down, around, and then up by the ears, down, around, and up. Good. Nice, and then come to lie down on your back. Transitioning in any way that's comfortable for you. I like to always take the soles of the feet to the floor, arms extended, and sort of roll down. Soles of feet on the floor, and from here you'll just take the right ankle to the left knee. Grab hold of the left thigh, so you're making a figure 4 shape with the legs, and you may need a block under your head if you're a little tighter in the hips. So you may need a washcloth here so you can hold behind the left thigh without straining. We don't want you tense and sort of rounded up and tense in the neck. So place pillows underneath the head if needed, and get a washcloth or strap if needed. Keep the right foot flexed, and you're just drawing the right ankle towards the chest. Close the eyes here. The only thing that's muscularly active are the muscles of the right foot, because you're flexing that right foot powerfully. Take a look and make sure that your ankle is really over the thigh, right? That your foot's not somehow sickled on the thigh. Foot's really over the thigh, ankle pressing into the top of the left thigh, and hopefully feeling a stretch in the outer right hip. Other than the flexing of the foot, body is completely relaxed. So relax the jaw and the shoulders. Relax the tongue. And then keeping everything as is, so nothing changes. All you're going to do is take the right sole of foot to the floor. So everything stays in the same shape. The right sole of foot is just going to come down to the floor. So everything stays in this shape. Just let the right foot plant. And you can hold on to the right ankle with the left hand, or you can hold the shin or the thigh. Open the right hand now to the upper right corner of the room, or just cactus the arms. Allow the knee to fall into the body, just observing any stretch you feel here, perhaps more intense, perhaps more subtle. We're also different. Just breathe into the right hip. Scan the body for any tension. And do whatever you can to let that go. the right hip is off the ground. You can think of energetically lengthening it towards the ground. And maybe that will help you feel a deeper stretch in the very deepest layers of connective tissue in the hip. Slowly deepen the breath. Taking your time, very gently come back to center. And let the left sole of foot come to the mat. Right sole of foot meets it. Take the feet as wide as your mat and just let the knees dip in to touch one another. Take one hand to heart and one hand to belly. Breathe in and just notice the difference between the left and right side of the body. Bring the soles of the feet back underneath the knees. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. And pull the right thigh towards the chest, holding on to the shin or the thigh, or using that washcloth or strap, or propping your head and upper body up so you can really easily reach through. Left foot is flexed and active. The whole rest of the body is soft and relaxed. And close the eyes and just do an internal scan for any tension, maybe hiding out in the jaw, throat, neck. Especially on the exhales, you can work to soften those areas, maybe even using the simple mantra, let on the inhale, go on the exhale. Let go. Keeping everything about this position the same. Just let the left sole of foot drift towards the floor. Hold the outer left ankle with the right hand or anywhere on the shin or calf that's comfortable for you. Take the right arm to the upper right diagonal or in a cactus shape. Allow the knee and leg to be heavy. this shape. Work with the hips, the two sides of the body can be drastically different from one another. So don't worry and don't judge if one side feels much tighter or perhaps much easier than the previous side. Even though the left seat will have left the floor, you can think of energetically sending it back down towards the floor, just energetically. Sometimes that opens and expands the stretch of the fascia in the left hip. Slowly deepen the breath. With a lot of tenderness and care, come back to center. Take both soles of feet to the floor. Take the arms long alongside you. Maybe lift your hips up. Just reset the low back and pelvis. Draw both knees into the chest. Just give yourself a gentle squeeze here. And then you can lengthen the right leg and then the left leg long. You can take one hand to heart and one hand to belly, or keep the arms long alongside you. You can cover yourself with a blanket or cover your eyes with a shirt or cloth. Coming into your Shavasana now, preparing to relax completely. Scanning the body for any tension, starting from the crown, scanning down to the feet, and then letting everything go. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Make some circles with the ankles. Just rolling the ankles, taking the feet in circles. And the other way. And rolling the wrists in circles now. And taking them the other way. Draw one knee and then the other knee into the chest, moving the legs one at a time to really protect the low back. Give yourself a squeeze. Roll over onto your right side. Using your right forearm as a pillow, left hand to the earth, just curled up in a little ball. Rest here. And then as you're ready, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Just observing the effects and the energetic quality that this practice provided you with. And bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Deep breath in. Fill the chest with breath to meet the thumbs. Exhale all the way. One more heart-filled breath. And exhale completely. Dip the chin, blink the eyes open. It would be wonderful to follow this practice up with a meditation or just more stretching on your own. Take care, and so much love from my heart to yours. Namaste.